Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk about the birthday of Dungeons and Dragons. So we're incredibly fortunate, and there's a brand new D&D canon hardback heading our way. It is the making of Dungeons and Dragons. It is the making of original Dungeons and Dragons, 1970 to 1977, by Hasbro. It's coming out soon. I'm extremely excited about this book. And one thing that's really exciting is not only are Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition fans, Dungeons and Dragons Now fans, very participants, very excited about this. But a bunch of grognards are getting really excited about this too. And one thing that I'm really excited about is all these grognards are like, "You'll never get my money again, Hasbro." And they're quietly getting their checkbooks out, which is very exciting. So I love that. I absolutely love that. And I think it's going to prompt them to buy a lot more Hasbro, because once they've broken that promise, what's a good, they could buy a Vecna Eve of Ruin, like, right? Okay, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm very excited about it, and actually, I also think that they're gonna have to break their promise and give Hasbro their money, which all these grognards, and that's going to make it easy for them to break their promise and just buy the 2024 core rule books, right? And they can slink into their FLGS and do it in secret. That's okay. All right. So, but what's really interesting is, what is the birthday of Dungeons and Dragons? Well, Jason Tondro rolled up and talked with Todd Kenrick in an official D&D Dungeons and Dragons video, and he's like, "We don't know. We don't know when the official Dungeons and Dragons birthday is, right?" And he says, "What we know is that on February 7th, 1974, Gary Gygax sent a 3x5 card to Arneson. Dave Arneson, and said, "Hey, the print runs are going to start to be shipped soon." Right now, we know that 3x5 was sent on February 7th, 1974, and we know that a printed copy of Dungeons and Dragons had been used at a kitchen, physical people around a physical table, with the printed version Dungeons and Dragons had already been run when that postcard was sent from Gary Gygax to Dave Arneson. I'm calling it, folks. So here's how it works. Hasbro gathers all the data, okay? And Hasbro, I don't know why, Hasbro does not feel like they're constantly making this thing where where they have all the information and they have the authority, but they don't step up and say an authoritative thing, right? So I'm saying it. February 7th. So Hasbro gathers the data, puts things in official canon position, but it becomes canon when the D&D community makes it canon, okay? And I am the first one stepping up and saying, the birthday of Dungeons and Dragons is February 7th, 1974. I'm going to celebrate it on February 7th, 2025. I'm going to celebrate the birthday of Dungeons and Dragons on February 7th, 2025, and I will be celebrating the 51st birthday of Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm hoping that you, the rest of the D&D community, will do that with me. Okay? That you will celebrate February 7th, 2025 as the 51st birthday of Dungeons and Dragons. And that will make it official, right? Because essentially, Hasbro has done all the work to make it official, but just doesn't have the will to do it, which I find incredibly odd. I don't understand why they're so lackluster about making authoritative statements about the thing they own, right? It's very strange, but that's okay. We can help them, right? February 7th, 1974, is the birthday of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, why am I saying this? Jesus Christ, right? Many theologians, pedants, will say, "Oh, December 25th is not the birthday of Jesus Christ. We don't really know." What I know is December 25th is when we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. February 7th, 1974 is the birthday of Dungeons and Dragons. And we're saying it, we're setting it in place so that we're not sad sack pat ants who are like, oh, we don't really know. We need a day to celebrate. Dungeons and Dragons deserves to have its birthday celebrated. February 7th is a perfectly logical, perfectly fitting birthday for Dungeons and Dragons. On February 7th, 2025, I will be celebrating the 51st birthday of Dungeons and Dragons. And I hope that you in the Dungeons and Dragons community will join me. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion and when you tell me you will celebrate the 51st birthday of Dungeons and Dragons on February 7th, 2025 with me. Thank you very much. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.